Welcome to Around the Product Development, our weekly series where we dive into the world of digital product creation, all in just 25 minutes. Here we explore every stage from ideation to conversion and monetization, providing you with actionable insights and practical knowledge. Each week, we bring you fresh perspective from industry experts, giving you the opportunity to learn directly from their hands-on experience. All this is possible thanks to our Agile Product Builders community, which is a Slack community powered by Boldare, digital product creators and consultants. And this week, I'm extremely thrilled to introduce our guest, Kate Hobler. Kate is an accomplished agile coach. It's the least we could say. A trainer with a deep passion for helping organizations on multiple layers thrive in the world of agile and Scrum. She's the driving force behind Brass Willow. I believe she'll tell us a bit more about this endeavor in a second. She empowers teams to adopt and excel in agile methodologies. I believe there's so much more things to say around you, Kate, but always give a second to my guests to just introduce by themselves. I do not want to put your words into my mouth, so please.
All right, thanks so much. First, thanks for having me here. It's always a pleasure being guest of Boldare. You've been extremely amazing hosts, and I always feel welcome here. So yeah, I am an agile coach, and I run my own company. But I have been focused around products for quite a while now. Usually, there's this. Let's say there's this moment when people realize that with coaching, it's not the teams that you need to worry about. It's the products, it's the leadership. This is where the problems usually lay, and this is where we need to focus. So this was my area of focus for quite a long time, even though my heart lays with the teams, which I just love working with them. But it's the product that needs straightening up and needs focus in order to actually excel at what you're doing at your company.
100% agree. Since I'm the product manager myself, so I'm even closer to your observations than I could imagine. But today's meeting will focus on teams actually, and Scrum as a whole versus AI, because we observe the high popularity of AI Scrum assistants. When searching this term on Google, you can find dozens of results, assistants of any kind. And for those who don't know what such an assistant is, so maybe just briefly, let's give an example. It's AI-powered tool usually that helps Scrum teams either manage projects, optimize process, automate daily tasks according to Scrum methodology. Usually offers kind of process automation, data analysis, improved communication, report generation. So we have multiple aspects of it, right? And by using those algorithms, the Scrum Assistance optimizes the processes, the way we communicate. 100%, I couldn't agree more. But do you think AI Scrum Assistance realistically supports Scrum Masters' team management process? Or not really, making them, I don't know, maybe lazy, maybe not focus on things they used to be focused on? What's your perspective on this one?
I think that there is some potential to it, but it's untapped up until now. I have not, even though I have encountered quite a few of those tools. I have investigated a few. There are a few that are extremely popular, or no, not popular. They were famous. I can't say they're popular. They were famous. Because they were created by or curated by people who know what they're talking about. But the problem is that all of those tools make some fundamental mistakes. So they have their place right now, but they cannot substitute a human. They can be of help to a human, but under one condition. This human needs to know what they are actually talking about. So like for like ChatGPT, please find me a tool for something, that might be actually pretty good. Yeah. Or create a scenario for a retrospective in such a conditions. That's absolutely fine. But then in those scenarios, there will be errors. There will be things because that AI does not understand what it's doing. It is going to create a text, but those things are so nuanced that I have not encountered anything even remotely close to something that can substitute a person. Support, yes. Just like with every specialist that creates something out of text or images or just recently videos as well, this is going to speed up the process, but it's not going to substitute the specialist.
Right. But nowadays, actually, some of the CEOs, some of the business owners, I believe, do not agree with your thesis. And I can spot this movement that, we get rid of Scrum Masters, we get rid of Agile coaches, and because the team's supposed to be self-efficient, they're supposed to organize by themselves. Sorry. What do you think would happen if such a business owner, such a manager would just give ChatGPT, or even invest in building some dedicated assistants, providing with all the knowledge, methodology of Scrum, making sure that, let's say that ChatGPT, for example, is correct in terms of how it's supposed to answer or formulate those answers. But as you said, like human touch is pretty much essential right now. But I would like to talk about a bit what do you think would happen? Like what would be the first obstacle that can encounter on their way doing such a thing?
Unfortunately, in the majority of cases, I don't think they would encounter any obstacles. This is because the state of Scrum mastery in the world is actually really bad. People are finishing a 2-day course and they want to call themselves someone who is able to actually change a company. No, it's not going to happen. And AI is going to be easily a replacement for people like this. If somebody's booking meetings and somebody's making notes or minutes out of this meeting, and it's going to and looking for just scenarios for a retrospective, that's something AI can do. There is going to be no difference. So automating those types of Scrum Masters, I wouldn't even call them Scrum Masters. They're just named like this by their HR or whoever names them. But I wouldn't really call them Scrum Masters. So automating something like this, it's going to be easy. But then why on earth would you want to keep somebody like this? This is someone that gives no real benefit, and you're actually paying for it. And it's going to be a much better idea to actually use AI for it. For a true Scrum Master, this is going to be a completely different situation. A true Scrum Master, somebody who is experienced in how companies are run, in how products are created, how companies change, how people are used to working, how people like to work. This is going to be completely different because all of the books in the world would not be able to tell that person what to do in that situation. They usually cannot even explain what they do, especially if they are proficient at what they're doing. And it becomes a black box of itself. Which is a nice coincidence. Talking about black box LLMs here. So, but that person will create a completely different feeling inside of the team. That person will create a motivation. That person will be able to create the kind of, I can't say inertia. It's more of a driving force. Yeah. So that people actually like what they're doing, and people want to participate. They want to encourage and hold each other accountable for what they're doing. And it's impossible to be done by a machine or AI that is not physically there with you.
Agree. Definitely. The human factor, human touch, human experience, uh, for now could not be replaced, in my opinion,
Mhm.
as well. But could be enhanced, could be leveraged by
Yeah.
such assistance. And I would love to, get to know about your perspective on any kind of tools, any kind of, you said you use
Hmm.
several of them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, decision-making process, task prioritization, workload distribution, even management of meeting, right? This is something we could actually benefit from such a system. So if you could just, say a few words on this, how real Scrum Masters, those who actually
Hmm.
give the value for the team organization, can benefit from those.
Hmm. I think the most prevalent form right now is creating all types of materials, because Scrum Masters tend to be educators as well. So creating all types of exercises to be able to convey a message that they want to spread. This is something that is going to be helpful. For example, for me, when I'm facilitating something, usually, for example, if I'm facilitating like a cultural differences workshop, what I usually do, I ask usually ChatGPT, hey, could you define for me this, this, and that? And it creates those definitions. I correct them, but um, they are good enough to start with. Yeah. So they need minor corrections, but so I'm only using them in places where I know what I'm doing. If I need a novel type of scenario for a retrospective, I'm going to feed my LLM with all of the knowledge that I like and have written somewhere. It's going to analyze it, and I ask him, hey, could you create a my style retrospective for a team that does this, this, and that? And this is going to be very helpful. Um, and those are going to be the majority of things that those LLMs could help. Oh, also tool selection. There are a few of those Scrum Master helper thingies that have a database of tools that they can recommend in certain situation, and this might be also helpful to investigate certain tooling that a Scrum Master might recommend to its product owner or to a team or somebody else or the management that is going to benefit that. So all types of those selections. Apart from this, I don't think there is much help for Scrum Masters. There's a lot of help for product owners and product managers. There is a lot of help for the teams, but for Scrum Masters, there's fairly little.
All right, so then let's follow up on this product owner, business owner, product
Mhm.
manager roles. Based on your experience, how can AI support them on daily work?
Mhm. The most common thing I keep hearing about is um, putting life into personas. So if you have a persona and if you feed it to a good LLM, it's going to act like a persona. So you could actually talk to a persona. And this is with great help because that thing is then able to help you with writing requirements, with understanding considerations, with UX, yeah, for all of those. Another thing is creating experiments. So if you have some idea for an experiment, you don't really know how to put it into words, how to explain it. This is going to help you. Yeah. So you give your LLM um, your pieces of things that you have in your head, and it's going to help. Another thing is analyzing all the data. If you have various data, especially if you have quality data, but non-numerical. It's like the quality. You have, for example, outcome of an interview or something like this, and you need to dig it through. This is going to be very helpful because it's going to compile the most important things that might be in the context of your product. Yeah. So in those cases, if it comes to the product owners, this is going to support them greatly. Yeah. And then you could also you can kind of change it to fit your needs. Yeah? So you don't really have to use ChatGPT. You can just set up your own. You can ask any engineer that has even basic knowledge about AI, and it's not very expensive. Just my husband was researching it. Just a simple LLM to work, kind of internal. It's not going to be more than about $1,500. This isn't money to be worried about in a company, right?
Definitely.
To set something
I mean,
like this
we
up.
at Boulder, we provide those POCs for our customers for less than $1,000 right now. So
See,
easy. And
Yeah.
it's like 1, 2, 3 days, it's
Yeah,
extremely powerful.
Yeah, that's true. It's that easy, and it's going to be
Yeah.
helpful, but it needs a little bit of thought about how to leverage it the right way, so that it doesn't suck out the weeks and weeks of your work, but it's actually almost immediately able to support you just like this.
Definitely. Just adding to your thought, I sometimes use SparkToro. This is a tool base that actually helps me create those persona. I don't need to, give the context to LLM. I can, based on Facebook or other social media data, create those persona just,
Cool.
based on their behavior or interest. It's crazy how it's evolved the last couple of years, right?
Yeah. Oh, that also gives me an idea. There is an AI tool that I've been using for quite a while. It's called Crystal. I don't know if you ever heard about it.
Yeah.
It's there for quite some time already, but if you have like a stakeholder that you know nothing about and you need to meet with them and kind of show yourself that you know what you're talking about, Crystal is great because it's going to help you understand what that person might need, what kind of a person that is, and it's scarily good at what it's doing. Yeah. So you can even you can try it out because it has some like a trial version. So I highly recommend. It's called Crystal or crystalknows.com.
Yeah, it is amazing. I sometimes use it whenever I do have some talks around. So
Mhm.
just, to give them an example of who my audience is and what they can expect. So be better to be prepared. As you said, stakeholders, presentation, amazing use case. All right. And you just mentioned you have vast experience in product development. You also have there was an organizational culture expert, right? It's been 2 years since more even now then OpenAI became extremely common, widespread. How do you think the use of AI tools in general affects the organizational culture of companies? Is it that common? Is it forbidden? Sometimes people are afraid of using those tools because it's cheating, may think, right? So how do you approach this, and what do you think is the impact on those companies?
I would say that would be actually age dependent. If we have very young people in the company, which are under 30, basically, that AI is in using language models is natural. I'm observing my 12-year-old. He is an avid programmer and he loves using, he's almost only working with Copilot. Yeah, almost exclusively. He's really good at what he's doing. But looking at him, this is absolutely natural. He's just using it just like that. It's just part of his work. And it's making his work much more efficient, much better, much lighter, and actually much more creative. So this is just a natural tool. But if we're talking about a person who is 40 plus, 50 plus, it's not going to be as natural. Of course, if there are people who are kind of technology heavy in their job, it's not going to affect them that much. But generally, there is this law, I can't remember the name of this law, but if you encounter a new technology, if you are over 35, it stops being natural. It starts being an alien technology, and you start fighting with it more than embracing it. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like it probably happened with our parents and grandparents and smartphones. Yeah. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
So AI is going to be something alien for them as well. So introducing them delicately, that this could be something that might help, I think it's going to be crucial. So we need a human to be able to introduce AI in order for another human to be able to recognize it as something that is not going to eat them. Yeah. So I think that adoption is going to be bigger and bigger, and I don't think it's going to be I don't think that cheating thing is going to be an actual thing in a workplace. It might be whenever we're talking about researchers. That's a different thing.
All
But
right. Yeah.
if we're not talking about researchers, if we're talking about craftsmen and specialists and other things, I think this is going to be just a great tool, just like it is right now for visual artists. What visual artists are able to do with Midjourney, oh Lord, this is just amazing. What these people are able to create, I mean, they don't have any AI preparation whatsoever, and they can create masterpieces on that. Yep, wow. And because they know what they're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, so I think this is going to be an integral part of our work. It needs a human touch in order to spread, and it is age sensitive. But I don't think this is going to be anything scary. I don't think this is going to be anything problematic. Of course, we are going through right now, just as we speak, through that first disillusionment phase, because we were expecting so much that AI is going to do everything but build buildings. Yeah, that's it. It's going to be create absolutely everything. But now we're looking for actual applications of the technology. We're actually making it work for us, and it's starting to become the part of our ecosystem, like an integral part.
Definitely. Definitely. And because you said this is going to be a integral part of our lives and our work on daily activities, no
Mhm.
matter if it's a work, leisure, what skills or adaptations do you believe Scrum Masters or Agile coaches or product owners need to actually develop or adapt to in order to effectively cooperate with AI tools in general?
Hmm. That's a good question. I don't think there is such a thing apart from for not fighting it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Being open.
yeah, exactly. Because just like with everything, if you are not developing yourself, if you're not learning, you're falling behind. You're not saying staying in one place, you're falling behind. We are in the age of information. Sorry, you need to learn. If you're not learning those new things, you are falling behind. And it has been true for years and years and decades now. You don't know how to operate Microsoft Word? Sorry, you're not fit for work. You're not even fit for school, right? You don't know how to operate a computer? You're not fit for anything right now. Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. You are unable to operate a smartphone? You're probably out of anything good or new right now. If you choose not to have a smartphone, you have other ways, of course, but you need to learn those other ways. Yeah. So, yeah, you need to learn. Sorry. That's the reality. We're not escaping it.
That's true. And I would love to keep this going, but 20 minutes just flew by extremely fast. And dear audience, if you're interested in joining our Agile Product Builders community and still hesitate for some reason, do not anymore and do join us. And I would like to already invite all of you to our next episode, which is next Monday, 3 p.m. as always. And I'll be discussing with my next guest, who's Andriy Nostrin, a product designer at Boldare, never-ending subject of user experience. And this will be all based on our renewable energy sector experience or some use cases of our projects, and we'll break down challenges we encountered throughout them. So this is going to be presenting or having too much data from multiple sources and how to present it to your users, or solving multiple segments of our users at the same time with dynamic content functionalities. So I believe it's going to be an interesting subject. Please do register and join us. And Kate, thank you so much. As always, a pleasure.
Thank you.
Just hearing you, it's very inspiring, and your experience just added value all the time. Once again, thank you, and
Thanks for having
see you
me.
on Monday.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.